Are you a morning person? Now, no judgment if you're not, but I want to talk to you today about why I am, specifically about one thing I love to do in the morning. Now, I've talked on previous episodes about my morning routine. It's a very important part of how I take care of myself emotionally and mentally. One part of my routine in the spring, summer, and fall that I haven't talked about is gardening. I believe I was born in the wrong century. There is the deep part of me that wants to walk around in a long linen dress with a matching hat and gloves and a basket, filling it full of flowers and vegetables that I have grown myself. Now imagine Anne of Green Gables as she is a young woman, out picking apples in the orchard when Gilbert Blythe comes by and wants to see if she'd like to take a walk to the bridge. That would be perfection. When I'm driving with my husband through central Utah on our way to St. George, I love looking at the farms with their pastures in different stages of harvest, some with tall grain and the next with brown, freshly tilled dirt. Green and brown up against a blue sky is soothing to me. Flying over these fields in an airplane is one of my very favorite things to take pictures of. The rectangular and circular fields are amazing from above. Does that sound weird to you? Maybe, but I think you may find what I'm going to say next even weirder. I love growing a garden. I love planting a garden. I love harvesting a garden, whether flowers or vegetables. But you know what else I love? I love getting out early in the morning and taking care of those gardens. And yes, that even includes weeding. Yes, you heard that correctly. I love weeding my gardens, but only when it's early in the morning. It totally changes when it gets hot, and I have to add getting sweaty to the mix. Weeding is definitely my least favorite thing to do in the garden, but I actually still love doing it. Why? Why would I love weeding? Well, it's peaceful. It's simple. Anyone can do it because it doesn't take a specific skill. You just have to know the difference between a weed and your plant. I can listen to whatever I choose, and sometimes that's listening to myself think. It slows everything down. Working with my hands makes life feel slower. You can't rush working in the garden. Things don't grow faster just because you want them to. They grow on their own schedule. They require certain things like water and sun, but you can't make them grow faster. I love weeding also because of the results of my hard and persistent work. And it really makes my soul come alive. For real. Maybe I am weird, but it's the truth. Looking at my yard full of live plants speaks to me in a way that I find hard to describe. It's like tapping into a part of myself that has always existed. I had a garden in heaven before I came to live on this earth. I'm sure of it. Maybe that's why I love being out there like I do, because it reminds me of my heavenly home. I've been surrounded by gardens in some form or another my entire life. My parents had a vegetable garden while I was growing up. I spent many hours weeding this large garden when I was young. It was full of produce that we preserved to eat all winter long. My grandpa was a farmer. He was a dairy farmer, but he still had to work his land to feed those cows. He had fields of alfalfa and hay, and I spent some time with him on his farm every summer. Now, my great-grandma loved planting flowers. I never knew her, but I feel connected to her. My mom explained to me how she grew her garden as one year she focused on growing her garden outside, and the next year growing her garden inside. That was the year she would have a baby every other year. Now, when I went to Costa Rica twice in 1 year not too long ago, I noticed that the pictures that I took were more of florals and greenery than anything else. The different textures of the leaves in that part of the world were very intriguing to me. And last week I went on a hike, and I think it took me twice as long as normal because I couldn't help stopping and taking pictures of all the flowers and different forms of greenery that I saw. I'll have to post some of those pictures for you. But with all of that, the number one reason I love weeding in my garden is because of the time I get to spend with myself. My kids rarely came to ask me something when I was working in the yard, probably because they knew I'd ask them to help me weed. So it was my one place of solitude. I think we all need moments of solitude where we can finish a thought without being interrupted, where we can contemplate on things that we wonder about, where we can have a conversation with God about the things we are struggling with. I enjoy listening to spiritual music while I read. Handel's Messiah takes on a whole different feeling when I listen to it in the summer instead of at Christmas time, which is when we usually listen to it. I feel connected to a higher power that way, and my spirit feels bigger. I love connecting with my true self in this way. When the noise of the world is blocked out and the sounds of birds is louder than anything else, it just feels different. That's why I love weeding. I love who I am when I'm weeding. I feel connected to my mind, my body, my spirit, and the earth. I have a challenge for you. Think about something that does this type of thing for you. What makes you feel calm? What makes you feel connected? Where do you feel the most like your true self? Make it one of your top priorities to do more of that. If you feel stuck in your life, if you feel like you don't know who you are anymore, if you don't trust yourself to make good decisions, you have lost connection with yourself. It's one of the most important connections that we make. It's the foundation of everything else in your life. Your relationship with you makes up the roots of every other relationship in your life. If you want to create a strong tree full of leaves and branches of the people you love most, your roots have to be strong. So begin nourishing your roots today. Create this relationship with yourself. If you feel like that is something you need some extra support to do, that's what I'm here for. I'm a relationship coach. I'm trained to help you with this. I would love to help you create that strong relationship with yourself. Now, I am taking new clients right now, but I wouldn't expect you to just jump in without giving it a sneak peek first. Register with me to do a consult together. I'll take you through some of the activities to help you find out exactly where you are in this process. I'll help you see where you are and where you could be, and then we'll create a plan together to help you build this relationship with yourself. When I began learning how and where I could improve, my relationships with everything else changed. They began to improve. It blew my mind that I didn't need to help anyone else to change. I just had to get real with myself. Now, I can't wait to help you learn to get real with yourself too. So sign up for a free 30-minute consult with me at hunkydory.com/consult, and we'll begin building this relationship with you. I really can't wait to meet you. So remember, that's hunkydory.com/consult and choose the time that works best for you. Thanks for joining me here today. And I want you to remember, I see you. I know how hard you're trying, and I'd like to help however I can. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back here again next week.